Glad to see some filmmakers in the crowd because we're going to talk about funding and distribution in that independent sector, which can be quite different to what happens in the mainstream. And the guys we've got on stage here are very experienced in this field and have found some very creative ways around these problematic areas of funding and distribution. So we're going to introduce them with a little clip from what they do and then get them to talk about themselves to save me waffling on too long. So we're going to start with Richard Herring here from Vision on TV and a little piece that he made at the climate camp this year, which is currently going viral on YouTube. All right, so just a little intro here from Richard, who shot that little piece. Can you tell us briefly your experience in funding and distribution in the independent sector? Just a kind of overview of your experience.
Okay, well, I used to work in broadcast television where I was an investigative reporter. And that's in a sense quite easy, because you go to a broadcaster and if they like it, they give you what at that time was a lot of money, but it gets less and less, I think, each year. As television has such a problem. What we're doing with distribution now is we've got a project called Vision on TV, which you saw there with the purple titles, and it aims to be the biggest distribution of alternative films in the world. And there's various reasons why it's even bigger than that, because anyone can actually replicate it and do their own versions and so forth, and I can go into that a little bit later if anyone's interested. And it's an internet television project. That's to say the content is Creative Commons. That means you can download it, screen it, burn it onto a DVD, redistribute it. As long as the license permits you to, you can cut it up and put it in another film, as long as all your use of this is non-profit and for not part of the corporate media.
Okay, that'll do for a starter. So that's Richard Herring, Vision on TV, and this is Mandy Carpenter, Pilipala. Means butterfly in Welsh. Oh. And I think we've got a clip from Mandy's latest offering as well. Let's have a look at that. So, Mandy, a brief resume of your experience in funding and distribution independently.
Very briefly then, the majority of the work we do is with young people, so we look for funding via educational and First Light, which is UK Film Council, and we do some charity work, so we get funding from those organisations as well, but very little funding from anywhere within Wales and the film industry in general.
I run small productions, been going about since 1986. I do, well, anything really that will get me by. But I think in terms of funding, there's about 4 sources of funding, maybe 5. The first one's obviously if you can get commissioned, that's the best sort of funding. The second source of funding is non-broadcast commissioning, which is, I found that is my steadiest income. So it might be NGOs, it might be charities, it might be government agencies. So on the ethical side of things, that's how I make my bread and butter money. A third source of funding is it's your back catalogue. It's films that you might have made over the years, but that isn't, well, it depends on what films you've made, obviously, and that can vary. And a fourth source of funding that I'm getting sort of trying to organise a much more international basis, as you know, is a new website called changingwheelmotion.com, which is a online clip footage archive we just set up. It's sort of it's great technology. It's on par with Getty Images in terms of technology, and that is making most of the clips, of any rare clips and rare footage that you have. So we've got a lot of NGOs on board, such as Save the Children, and other independent filmmakers such as Undercurrents and other people that come on board to try and maximise the income. In terms of distribution, well, just whatever you can do. I've done a lot of hard copy distribution, mass DVD distribution. I found that a lot of the things, if you are getting non-broadcast commissioning, then, and you do like I usually do mass duplication there, so it's DVD like Undercurrents does, then often that can turn into other things, such as, I did one on National Forestry Commission the other day on Forest School, which is a new project about getting kids out into the forests, and that we did a big, I think Andrew, you did the duplication on the Forest School. So there's a lot of DVDs. So they went to most schools in Wales, bilingual. Now that was taken up by S4C, by Telescope, just across the river here. So it went out on Fermio, and so that got a broadcast. And it also went taken up by Teachers TV. So then it also goes out on the Sky platform, but it also goes on broadband. So, you know, great for the client, because therefore, from an initial DVD platform, they then go into different areas. They get a broadcast. They get several different sorts of broadcasts. I've also just got 2 films which I did for Compassion Will Farming, going out now on Teachers TV. One's called Eat Less Meat, which we had Joanna Lumley on, and the other one, I forgot the other one's called. Oh yes, Fine Islands and Us, which is all about. So you know, you've got to be flexible. You've got to think all the way, different angles. So I don't think there's any golden rule.
Okay, so loads of ideas there. We're going to come back to some of these ideas afterwards, hopefully, but I think Justin is one of the few independents I know that actually does get broadcast commissions, so if anyone wants to pick his brain about that, see him after. And I'm going to move over to Ben Cole here, who's come from Brighton to be with us today to show the film tonight, One Giant Leap. It's on at 8 o'clock. I'll give you that a quick plug. And Ben has a different experience again, so we're just going to show a clip from One Giant Leap to encourage you to come along this evening.
Bu خودی شده تو بچه دی میشه شله چیته چطورش شده تو میشته لیکه خودی میکده خلو دیدو چطور بخور
One Giant Leapのジェイミー・カトー、そしてダンカン・ブリッジマンです。Welcome to Japan. Tell us, how and why did you start One Giant Leap?
You do how, I do why.
We're musicians. The way we make our album is we take our backing tracks to the most inspiring musicians we can find.
We have a process. What we do is we give them our beat, they add their music and sing their song. This is from every country across the world, with people just hearing in the headphones what the last person did. I explained that very well. So I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. Ready? Rolling.
As well as going around the world looking for amazing musicians, we went to look for amazing, inspirational people to talk to about big subjects of life.
We are searching for truth in many countries.
About
God, sex, anger, love, freedom, conflict, madness, loneliness, death, anger. Did I say anger twice?
10 years ago, you couldn't have done what we've done. Basically, we record on a laptop, we film on a DV camera, which means that we can slip in kind of undetected, and it's like a kind of guerrilla way of making films.
You're not in control. You're not in control of yourself, and you're not in control of what you're going to get. You are in control. No, you're not in control.
It's like a string of consciousness, and then you have all these beats of music.
And then when you weave it all together,
all the music and all the philosophy, after a while, it just fits.
This is 2 guys, you know, going around the world looking for the aliveness, for the gifts that just come out of nowhere.
And when we wove together all the diverse people, we ended up with One Giant Leap.
We were about to set off on a 6-month journey of a lifetime.
Don't you want to text all your friends right away and tell them to come?